that those ships were taken away somewhere, or they're gone. So that's what I'm going to go talk with him now about it, so I can confirm all of that.
So for those of you who are not familiar with Tom's talking about,
is the U.S. military still trying to find out where they went?
Yes.
Yeah. Good luck.
Well, we'll find out. I'll let you know. All right. So please, if you want to talk to Bill, I think he's on. I have to go, but please bring Bill on if you guys have any discussions about the New York assemblies and filing with the Supreme Court on each assembly, each state, because we do have jurisdiction. So I think we can fight. And plus, it'll bring the life force up to the forefront when it comes to the Supreme Court. So I think it's a good thing for everybody.
Well, I think that's very interesting. Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate that. And did we identify Bill? Bill, if you're on the call, could you please raise your hand so we can unmute you? And just take a look to see if he's here. Everybody? I can't see it.
I think he's on.
Let's
see.
Is it Bill Aldo?
No, Bill Giroux.
Nope.
He may be just registered. I think he called in instead of, he's not video. You think he called in?
If he's calling, he just needs to push *6.
Yeah, *6. If you could have him press *6, we'll call on him as he comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, all. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. So I have quite a few opinions about that.
And Tom, tell the military I said you're welcome for doing your job.
I'm always trying to keep things professional. So,
sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's why I said, hey, if you have any questions about what enforcement looks like, feel free to ask the Chinese military that was just going to be taken over or that was going to take over our country. There was some discussion at in some of the GIA meetings that you had a operation called Operation Devil's Storm, which was a military operation, which was allegedly supposed to go into effect yesterday. And from all that I heard, it was basically a surrender of our country by our military to the Chinese. So fortunately, it looks like they were talked out of that. And thank God we have ground command and life force enforcement that went in to remove the threats, or we would be under a much greater threat from a Chinese Canadian occupation at this point. And they had basically surrounded us from all sides with battleships in the Panama Canal, from the Bahamas, what was the other one? Antigua. Obviously, they could come in from the West Coast, and they were set up in Vancouver, up above Michigan, and then over in Maine, where all of the
Ireland, United Kingdom, South Africa, many countries, 180 some odd locations around the world, they were in position. So it wasn't just the U.S., it was basically the entire world. There was an agreement signed between the United Kingdom government and the Commonwealth nations to basically join the Commonwealth with the Chinese under communist rule, with China as the world government. They agreed to turn over the entire Commonwealth.
Yeah, that's not actually Kim's picture. That's mine, but I'm just gonna. Okay.
I didn't shave. Sorry.
yeah. We look a lot alike. The more you work together. Yeah. So it's a really a great disappointment, in my opinion, that that's even an issue, that our military would even be compromised like that. That is why today's message, it's very important for everyone to realize, particularly because a lot of times in the military and various other intelligence agencies, they are in some compartment of information and they're following orders. And they trust the people above them to be making decisions in the best interest of everyone. You know, the collective, the individual, but most particularly with the United States of America military, we would expect that they would make the best decisions for this country. And they have failed miserably to do that. So I think it's very important for the good people of the military and the different agencies to know that you should know what the actual plan was to surrender everything in our country over to these people. And humanity would have essentially been offered up as a sacrifice. So everyone following the internet lore of the genius plans who continue to trust no matter what happens, I would encourage you to question that deeply. That being said, we were going to hear from the assemblies, which I think are a much more formidable, active, and intelligent group of self-governing. So, General, are you ready?
Hank,
Yes, sir.
sorry, guys. Can you please make Lisa co-host? She's in as Tank of America.
Okay.
Lisa as well?
Yeah, she got kicked out.
Tank, we all want to be like you.
I guess so.
We've all been kicked out like once today.
All right. It's a little sloppy today, but that's okay. All right,
Yeah.
Jen, you go ahead.
Well, thank you. I'm going to make it short because I know Jeannie's got a lot to cover in regards to the lovely assemblies that we have had the pleasure of sitting in and further work to do with them. It's been one heck of a week for myself on the general side of things with Life Force and the assembly side of things. Lots of intel coming in surrounding the vaccination distribution and governors across the U.S. Some of these developments are still coming in, so we'll have more on that this week, I'm sure, with Speak Project or Tank and on the Life Force. This past week, we lost a beloved activist, ex-whistleblower, to the medical freedom movement, Merck. Her name was Brandy Vaughn. As many continue to mourn, our thoughts and prayers go out to her, the medical freedom movement, and the family. It's been a huge impact on the community. We had a great week joining many assemblies, as I just said, and Jeannie will cover the long list. One thing we have taken away this week is right now, even as the assemblies get set up, the unifying factor to help each other in the different states is imperative right now. We have to be unifying in our efforts to take on the big fish when it comes to the end of this, and taking action on multiple levels. So the more we can unify our intel, our paperwork, and the different relationships between states, because there is many things going on right now between governors, especially the ones that belong to the governor's panel, which Cuomo heads. I forgot the total name of that. Tank, you might be able to help me out with that.
Yeah.
As far as that membership thing is concerned. Those guys are moving full force because they are the ones that are carrying out the agenda. So these are primarily the states that hold the Democratic majority and those that are pending the lawsuits. I also wanted to make mention, yesterday we had several members from Life Force that belong to the Proud Boys who showed out in D.C. Many I know and have worked with and hold near and dear to my heart. So thank you for just holding the line and showing out and also being representatives of Life Force. That's what we're here for. It was a huge deal. I also wanted to thank all of you who joined the FDA meeting on the Pfizer emergency order to distribute for use and voiced great comments, and some of the doctors who joined, specifically Dr. Dave. He was fantastic. He held the line for those of us that are need choice, as well as the voice for mothers who came on to represent the lost and the injured. I also wanted to make mention to those of you who got on the ACIP hearing and made yourselves known and stated your case in the comments. It was beautiful outpouring of Life Force members and assembly members and those that are forming assemblies. I also, as Tom had stated, Cuomo has a birthday party that is planned. It's floating around social media. A lot of people are confused and say, well, this is a virtual event. It is, in fact, not. We did our investigation on it and found out that there will be a limited access in real time, a real celebration going on. We don't know the location yet. That hasn't been disclosed. But the fact still remains that the higher the bid, the higher the money, that is what gives you access to this event. I'm sure those details will come in the next few days. Another interesting thing was we have on December 15th, it looks like the AARP is sponsoring, or one of the sponsors, to meet the new members of the legislature coming into New York. If you can get on your search engines, find that invitation. I have gone back to look for it myself. It may be under a different title. Look to join that meeting. It'll be an opportunity for the assemblies all across the nation to make our presence known. Life Force can be known, that we are looking to make sure everybody comes into their seat constitutionally compliant. And if not, we will be following up with you if you're listening. I look forward to sharing more as we navigate some of this serious intel that's coming in. And with that, I happily pass this to Jeannie.
Thank you, General. As Jen stated, we are currently holding Q&As, icebreakers, and joining other states' meetings to help out and to educate to the best of our ability. Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Texas. We've spoken with Washington and Florida. They're all doing great work. We did have a Q&A with Florida, and we were able to get 3 different Florida counties in communication so that they could begin to work together to establish their state assembly. So that was huge. Thank you to Florida. That was a great call. And I advise everybody, if you are not yet in touch with your state assembly, to get into Life Force and get on the Life Force app and get into the groups. Or you can contact me, and I may be able to put you in communication with someone. My email is nyapresident@protonmail.com. So you can definitely get in touch with me, and I will send you in the right direction, hopefully. So there is an update out of Nevada County in California. Joe Bonamolo actually did send notice to the Nevada City Council, who also putting, draconian mandates with fines for masks and permits and all this other stuff. So they did post notice to them. So hopefully, I believe it's cured. So hopefully we'll be able to get an update on that next meeting. There's also a quick report on the citizen's arrest aspect in Nevada County. It has made its way to the assistant DA, and he'll be notifying. So Joe Bonamolo will be notifying via email today for a follow-up. So he's getting a follow-up from that. That's exciting news. Hope to get more from that. Yeah. So he writes that we will be submitting 2 affidavits to our county elected representatives, as well as the medical community. A trespass against medical freedoms and parental rights affidavit, and an affidavit concerning an 80-year-old mining operation, 24/7 mining operation underneath the town of Grass Valley. And that would devastate their community. So he's doing great work in Nevada County. He's doing great work over there. So congrats to Nevada County for working for the people and doing work for the people. Here in New York, the de jure Assembly has put the mayor of NYC, Bill de Blasio, on notice for a violation of our natural rights and for violating his oath of office to uphold the Constitution. That notice can be found on our website, nyassembly.info, along with our other cured notices. So we will be following up with that, because he is now in default to follow up on the bill that would mandate COVID-19 for every New Yorker. So there's a lot of backlash now in reference to that bill. People who are pro-vaccine are pretty much saying they're not taking this vaccine. It's rushed, whatever their excuse may be. So we're seeing a lot of doctors for choice, nurses for choice, teachers for choice, and these groups were reached out. We reached out to these people when the religious repeal was happening. The religious repeal, as you may know, repealed our religious exemption to vaccines for our children for school. Mm-hmm. So if you're not caught up with the CDC schedule, which is monstrous, right? That CDC schedule for children, that your child will not be able to attend school. You can no longer have a religious exemption, and medical exemptions are impossible to get here in New York. So when we reached out to the teachers union, to teachers in general, when we reached out to nurses and doctors and tried to get them to stand up for children, we got a lot of just vaccinate your kids, right? We got a lot of that stuff. So now those groups are looking at